Hello, welcome to this podcast. My name is Beatrice Mars. I am a singer songwriter from France. I can't get used to the fact that actually, when I'm looking down, it's actually that I'm looking at my laptop screen. When I'm looking up, I'm actually looking directly to into the camera. So I don't know what is best to do. So today, out of nowhere, I've decided to actually make a podcast today. Uh, I know that it's kind of a popular thing for some of you because some people keep on listening to me, even though I know you are not watching me because basically there's nothing's happening on my YouTube channel, but there are definitely things happening on the podcast thingy. So, which is good, and I would like to take the opportunity to thank you for that. Thank you for listening to my podcast. So, and the thing is, it just to me by making this statement, it just to me it just proves it all because I'm not too sure that you actually need to be number one on Spotify to do anything. I'm not too sure if you should be number one on I will limit myself to Spotify, number one on TikTok, whatever. To I know I do believe my favorite preach would be if some people need to listen to what you have to say, they will find a way to actually listen to you wherever they are because they will be guided to actually come and listen to what you have to say. Anyway, this is the way I see. I'm doing the thing I'm doing with my music, with podcast, and with video thingy, my YouTube channel. That's the way work. And today I kind of maybe I was kind of inspired because I was watching a video on YouTube for people new from Dr. Boyce Watkins, and he was interviewing someone called D1, a rapper from Louisiana, from what I understand, and the guy was explaining how he came up to be an independent artist. So I will always root for an independent artist somewhere. Even though I listened to one of his songs, I'll be honest, I wasn't so much taken into it, so I didn't pay much attention to the lyrics. And I know, from what I understand from the interview, the lyrics are very important, but the only thing I've listened to, the music didn't, I wasn't digging it that much, basically. But, maybe I will go again and try to listen to it a little bit because afterwards I went to Apple Music to try to find some of his titles, and they actually mixed when I actually went into the search. They actually on the result of a search, they're actually mixing his tracks with other artists, which I find kind of semi odd. Why do I say semi odd? It's because those platforms they got a way to do things when you're independent and you out of mode. So it's a bit like to me it looks a bit like a big fu, if you understand what I'm saying. We got a weird way to actually display the search result for some artists other than others, basically. Anyway, I do believe, and that was okay. It was an impression I had right when I started again in 2017. I really felt like, and I'm saying that after I've been listening to Gary Vaynerchuk a lot and other people on the subject matter, and I always kind of behind in the back of my mind. I always thought that it was always a fool's game with that social media thingy, and it turns out that I wasn't too far from the mark as far as I'm concerned. So if you as usual, I'm gonna make a short break. As usual, I'm recording this podcast, so I will put a video of this podcast on my YouTube channel called Beatrice Mars. But the only thing is because it was a bit like sunny-ish while I was recording, and now the light is getting darker. So that's the reason why. It has nothing to do with me. Just that the the weather is kind of funny. The sun is kind of funny, but if you understand what I'm saying, they are playing around a lot with it. So I'm not surprised anyway. So yeah. So I wasn't so much. I wasn't at the time. I wasn't taken so much into social media, and I don't know why. I had at the time. I still have some kind of alert system was telling me, "Don't bother, don't bother." Having said that, I've played a little bit with Facebook on my on a little side business that I have, and it did work, but uh, it worked in a way that I managed to actually bring some people, uh, take the bring the attention of people into what I was doing, but it never actually correlated in money terms. And what put me off with a music thingy is that when I started in 2017, I was trying to advertise myself where I could do it on my own. I realized very quickly that those big platforms like were actually like Facebook and Instagram, and surprise, surprise, they both owned by the same person, some kind of thing, basically. Okay, and basically they were kind of trying to pushing me to actually advertise so I can get people listening to the content I was putting on Instagram or Facebook because of my music, because they realized that it was music related. So, you know, the cards are dealt. I thought about it a long time ago, but now with the research I've done for past year, now I realized that basically I was more than right on what my things were about many, many things. And I'm kind of glad that it's almost the end of it somewhere. So I'm thinking I'm kind of talking, not saying much, or maybe saying too much. Basically, you need to, if you understand what's going on around the world right now, you understand what I'm saying. If you're not very private to a subject, then you lost. Sorry about it. Maybe you should listen to me, or maybe you should go and look for another podcast, or someone who's willing to sell his soul just to make some real hard dough. If you understand what I'm saying, I'm not that kind of person. I can't be bothered anymore, and life better things in life than selling your soul basically. And the thing is, if you basically into an art form, is because your soul is requiring you to actually express yourself in a way that is proper to your person. And then if you leap into a thing that the end result should be the money, then basically you're going to against what you're meant to be in the first place. That's what I believe anyway. So that interview, and I was just being reminded today what I was why I did start the whole thing in 2017, and basically I was reminded why I wanted to actually play the music when I was a young little girl, because it didn't start only in 2017. Basically, as when I was young, this is what I wanted to do, and I didn't have the right people around me to guide me in the best way. And the funny thing is, my mother wanted to do something good for me, so they actually helped me to go into some piano lessons, but it didn't work for me because it wasn't the style I was into that much. This is what I wanted to do, but not in that style. So classical music wasn't my thing, and basically pushed me away from the music. So the only advice I will have to give you, if you're planning on doing something, just do the thing you want to do. It doesn't matter if you're a real expert, because while doing the thing you realize what your real needs or your real requirements are, and then you will move along and become proficient into what you are meant to do, if you understand what I'm saying. So why am I saying that? Why am I talking like that? It's just that at the beginning of the week, I think it was Monday, I actually I've actually I was on YouTube, and I found that channel called Guitaro 5000, I think it's his name, and it was actually suggested to me on YouTube, so I've listened to it. And I like the concept. Basically, it's a guy who actually go into, yeah, on the street, play some, ask people if they want to sing with him while he's playing the guitar and everything, and just to make people happy. And I found it, it's kind of a blessing, and the idea is, and it's good. And over the screen, it crosses over very well with, I think, with the audience, as far as I'm concerned. Well, it actually went well with me, that's what I can say. I was like, okay, I was taken into it. So I've watched several videos in a row, and then suddenly I said to myself, you know what? Because it's only like something like between 5-10 minutes, sometimes 15 minutes, not more, because I don't want to stress myself. Never stress yourself with something you really like, you enjoy doing, because otherwise, that's it. So, and I said to myself, well, you know what? Because I had some partitions, so I'm gonna try to actually like learn to play Let It Be on the guitar. So I started this weekend, this beginning, excuse me, this at the beginning of this week, and I'm strolling along, okay, and well, I'm not an expert. Yeah. Officially, I don't play any instrument whatsoever at all. I never up to what I'm saying right now, up to the beginning of this week, okay. I didn't really want to actually learn anything or anyone else's song, and I've stated that several times before in previous podcast. Until the beginning of this week, I said, let's go for it, and it's a bit cumbersome but enjoyable as far as I'm concerned. And this is me saying that after, like I said, when I was a teenage girl, I was like meant to actually playing some classical music, and just like bored me to death. So now it's a change, and the reason why I'm saying that to you is that 2020 has been very challenging for many people around the world, and I guess the following years are going to be the next following years are going to be very challenging years for many people, especially around the entertainment industry, as far as I'm concerned. And to me, yeah, it was 2020 was challenging but interesting, because I didn't do much in terms of music, like I said before, but carried on like practicing the guitar a little bit, and also I've read a lot, tried to realize what was really going on around the world. This year I'm reading a lot as well, and this was good, because when 2020 started, I was kind of stuck. I was like banging my head a bit against the wall in terms of music, because I felt like I couldn't do anything anymore. The thing was kind of running. I reached a stage and I couldn't go any further, so I went and tried to do into electronic music, and basically the whole project is on hold. I know it's gonna turn up. I'm gonna start again, but right now it's still on hold. And what I'm saying is that sometimes you get stuck, and maybe sometimes you just need to walk away just for a bit, get interested into other things, and maybe you will find the will to either change the way you do things or see things from a different angle. And right now, what I've been doing in 2020. I remember like 10 days ago, like it wasn't last Sunday, but the Sunday before, I actually started to work on a song. I stopped. I don't know why I stopped, but I had that urge to actually open everything up so I could record, and I did it. Now I need to come back and work into that song. In between, I've recorded someone, and these are things that challenges you, takes you out of your path for a while. They are forcing you to actually consider things that you don't really want to consider, and and counterproductively, maybe, I don't know, you just like moving on to something else. Yes, just like stepping up step further. I don't know. So this is where I worked, and it always like when you're a creative person, it doesn't. And this is yeah. When you actually watch or listen to other creators on those platforms, you have that feeling that you need to do everything every day, every day, every day. You need to produce every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. And this is where I usually come up and say, are you a product or are you an artist? This is a question when I should ask you. You should ask yourself if you feel like you need to do it every day, every day, every day, every day, every day. Because real artists don't need to do things every day. They need to do sometimes different things to actually work on their arts, if you understand what I'm saying. So yeah, it was a very 2020 very challenging. 2021 kind of challenging so far, but not that much. It's more like, you know, nice, nice. And I'm looking forward to the end of 2021. I'm looking forward for releasing my album number 7 in whatever form it is. And I know it's not perfect, but I'm pleased with it anyway. And I'm looking forward to actually, playing other people's music. Namely, should be Let It Be by the Beatles. The first no, yeah. And I think I'm gonna go. Basically, I'm just gonna try to get the partition for the songs I really like, really, in terms of how to play, because Let It Be seems to be an easy tune to play, even though I haven't mastered it so far. And also interesting in terms of lyrics, because I'm not actually considering learning to play crappy lyrics, disempowering lyrics, if to that's the word I would like to say. So yes, sometimes you need to actually work, step aside, step back, maybe in time, just to be more productive and to think of things differently. So right now, I'm actually also reading a book that actually is number 2 of a series, 2-book series, a French book about Parisian people during World War II. Well, France was occupied, Paris was occupied, where what people were doing in terms of art, all those artists, entertainers and everything, what they were doing, and they coped with the occupation, the German occupation of capital, and how they managed to do things, considering that they couldn't eat properly anymore, they couldn't do anything, so you can. It was kind of very challenging, not just on the political side of things, but very, very challenging to actually do any to produce any type of art, because not only the food was rationed. Yes, you had food vouchers just to eat, but also to have anything else which maybe was related to producing a show was also kind of. It wasn't like you couldn't lay your hands on things, so you had to do whatever you could do to actually try to put everything together. So, and it's very interesting because you got the people who are actually collaborating, friendly, so we can continue to on their art form. Some were resisting and in their own way. Some of them just they just left the territory just to be free. And also it was interesting that the Germans were actually trying to Germanize somehow, maybe, for lack of a better word, Germanize the French culture. So That's yeah. It's actually an interesting read. It's a book that was written, I think, in 1970s, around the 1970s. So basically, you've got that over 30-year delta, which allowed the author to actually be close to whatever stories he was able to lay his hand on from that particular period in time in France, and it's actually quite a very interesting. And that makes me, when I heard about NFT, I haven't actually done any real work on it, but I heard about NFT from Gary Vee, was talking about it, and when he's talking about it, well, yeah, okay. And then at the time, I had already read the number one book for, as I said to you, it's a two-part book, and I had already previously read the first book. When he talked about NFT, it reminded me that part in the first book where what he was saying is, what he was writing on that book was saying that the French auction house during that time, during the World War II, okay, basically, so they used, first of all, because people were so cold and you couldn't lay your hand on a cold, so they actually, people who had a little bit of money, they would go into the auction houses just to get warm, and other people were there just because, okay, because of the black market, they were enriching themselves, and basically they were buying everything and anything on this auction just to actually launder the money they were earning illegally. So I'm saying nothing about NFT, but despite my own wish, it just reminded me that part of the book when I heard about NFT and people were buying things for crazy pricey, for what I understand. And I thought to myself, with the time we are living right now, this is, to me, it sounded a little bit. It sounds also a little bit dodgy. It sounded and still sounds a little bit dodgy. Having said that, I don't know everything about it, but that is what strikes me, is that some people coming from nowhere, okay, could buy something for tremendous amount, okay, where that money coming from, particularly because of the time we are living right now. So somehow I'm saying something, but also I'm saying nothing, so you take what you want to take from what I say. Okay, it just it's just me reading a book, then being exposed to whatever that thing is. I'm thinking, anyway, I'm not going to use it. Okay, this is not the rare rule anyway. And coming back to that interview that Diwan interview, and he said at one time, yeah, compared to others, I know my why. I know the reason why I'm doing that thing, what I'm doing with my music, and it's the same with me. I know the reason why I'm doing it, so I'm pleased with whatever happened to the music. Okay, I say I'm not prepared to do. Okay, maybe when I was younger, but now I'm just maybe I'm too old for that shit anyway. So I don't know. So anyway, I'm rambling, but it was just like I don't even know I'm gonna title that podcast, because it was just like, some feelings around right now, and I'm thinking, yeah, and I'm waiting as well as many people. Okay, I'm waiting to see what's gonna happen next, because these are dire times, and people are playing. Well, they've been playing with us for quite some time, but they are still playing with us till the last stage. That's what I can say. So that's it for me. Thank you for listening to this podcast. Maybe a enigmatic, eclectic podcast for today, but this is the mood of the day. That's what I can say. Thank you for listening to the podcast. I hope you'll come back to listen to my podcast again, and I know for some of you, you will come back. I can see the figures, okay, the stats, so thank you very much. Until then, well, thank you, take care, bye.